Hey yo, welcome everyone to another one of the podcast, the Warmup podcast. Man, I'm here with the guys. It's a full house today. It's me, Chris. We got Reg, Deuce, and Kev, RL in the building. Say what's up to people who are listening in and tuning into this episode, guys.
What's up, fam? How y'all doing?
It's good.
Cool. And if this is your first time rocking with us, we talk about sports, current events, and things in between through the lens of Black culture. Catch us whenever we drop a new episode weekly. It's usually on Wednesday, but it could be any day. You know, we do have day jobs. Y'all ain't paying us yet. You know what I'm saying? So once we get that check, though, coming through, we'll give you more, what you want to be more consistent. But anyways, you can find us on Spotify. You can find us on YouTube. Tell a friend, like, subscribe, follow, do all those things that'll help us out. It'll help you out because it's going to help us give you more what you want. And all the social medias are in the bios and description boxes. Feel free to look at those to follow us on a regular basis. And anything else you guys want to talk about before we move on to the topics?
Nah, man, let's get into it.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, it is a celebration. It is a parade in Miami City, man. They are just out here winning. It's only been week 3, but guess what, man? They are having a ball of their lives, the time of their lives, and, you know, they're balling out. Again, no pun intended, but, you know, Tyreek Evans, Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Waddle probably got a catch. He injured, but he probably, you know, out here partying. He probably caught a catch, too. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this 70-20 route that has occurred on week 3 of the NFL. I'm sure it's like one of the biggest things. I think when I saw the score, I was like, what, like, is there a typo? Like, what is going on? Mm-hmm. Did they just like decide to only play with 10 players total on offense and defense? But no, it wasn't. It was 22 players on the field, at a time. And I guess the defense just did not make it. Did not make it to Miami. And yeah, it was 300 yards, 200 yards. Like, everyone just had a good field day. And you know, it's not even just a Tyreek Hill thing. It's just like, I don't know, man. But needless to say, man, this was the biggest win or biggest scoring event since the 1966. I think it's 2 points shy of the NFL record. Mm-hmm. Definitely is a Miami franchise record, considering that they don't really have a great historical record of,
outside of
great
Dan
historical stats. Yeah, outside of Dan Marino. I mean, there's nothing else to talk about the Miami Dolphins with, right? So, I mean, you know, there's not much their story, but, you know, hey, now you got this one here. You can hang that one up and say, well, I did this more so than all the other teams. So, you know, again, a really big situation that happened. And on one side of the ball, Miami, they are hot out the gate, and they are just rolling. And Denver just caught look, you was in the wrong place at the wrong time. So that's kind of all we're gonna say about that. And so we're gonna talk about it, man. Like this loss, man. Who's holding and garnering the most fault and the most blame for the Broncos having to get a 70 piece? A 70 piece is not even on the menu, the secret menu. They got a 70 piece attributed to them. So whose fault was this, man? Reg, I know you from Miami. You're a Miami resident. So you know, I know you're happy on the inside, but tell us how you feel, man. Whose blame is it? Whose fault is it?
I'm gonna have to put this on coach, man. That if I'm looking around, I'm surveying the field, and to me it falls to coach. I think, you know, Sutton had a couple timely fumbles that weren't great, that didn't help the situation. That should be, the players should know. That's also some coaching. That's some discipline thing. I think they had a couple penalties as well. I think there was a story that I read that I think he got rid of the defensive coordinator and brought in this new guy, and he ain't doing great. There was a lot of missed tackles, a lot of, like, you thought the guy was down, people breaking, getting extra yards, running after the catch. A lot of that going on. I feel as though Russell Wilson had a decent game. He wasn't as efficient, but he threw for 306 yards and he got a touchdown interception as well. But I don't put this one on Russ. Watching the highlights, he was making some timely possessions. That touchdown throw he did have was really good, really tight. So I mean, I'm putting it on coach, man. Especially with his criticism. This last guy, he was a bum. Now he's 0-3. The last guy at least was 2-1. right? So I don't know. So
Hey, someone told someone to stop kissing babies during the off season, at least training camp. So I believe that was directed towards Russell Wilson. But anyways, Deuce, man, who's at fault, man? Who holds the brunt of this situation?
Chris, look, the dude has a title, man. He's literally the head coach. The buck stops with him, man. So everything falls at his shoes, at his feet, right? And to Reg's point, all the coaches, bruh, the whole coaching as a whole, man. Everybody that says the title says coach for the Broncos, failure across the board. Because I ain't see any life from the team anywhere, bruh. And I've never taken a whipping like that in my life, except for like on Madden. And even on Madden, I was pissed off, bro. I was so mad I would restart the game, right? And I know the players had to be pissed off. Like, they're the best of the best in the NFL. You got to have an ego. You got to have a chip on your shoulders to play in that league. So I know they're pissed. But this is pretty much the same team from last season, right? Things have changed with the head coach and the coaching staff. So I'm for the most part, I'm with Reg, man. It's the coaches, man. Now, like I said in the pre-pod, I'm not going to back away from that comment. I'm not letting Mr. Limited, Mr. Reconcilable, Mr. Irrevocable.
Mr. Russ. You can call him Mr. Russ.
Okay, yeah. I'm not letting Mr. Russ completely off the hook simply because people talk about culture in team sports, right? He set the tone last season by isolating himself. There's all those stories coming out. He had his own office. He would fly away from the team. He had his own agenda separate from the Broncos, right? Sean came in, took away the office, took away his own personal trainer, said, stop kissing babies. Please think about the context. Russ wasn't out there just kissing random babies. But to stop being a politician, pretty much. That even came from his old backup from college. He thinks Russ is positioning for a political career. Either way, man, I think that had something to do with it too, because Russ, from what I seen, couldn't gather the troops to make a better run, man. Nobody said stop scoring at 20 points. Nobody said that.
Okay, all right. It was a take. Kev, you wanna tackle this?
Well, first off, Dolphins defense was pretty good too. So I don't know if he just said stop scoring. They were doing their thing out there. To me, they were clicking on all cylinders. Offense, defense, it was rolling kind of game. I'm not gonna take it away from the coaches altogether. Definitely they have some blame, but I'm not gonna let the players off either. I've seen a lot of people, a lot of articles mention toughness, heartlessness, and terrible tackling. I agree with all three of those things. I just saw things that it looked like a video game out there. It was a professional gamer playing someone who just came off the street and just said, hey, let me touch these sticks, let me see what's going on. They were just running through the break tackles. Like, I was just confused about the runs after catches. That could have been schemes that allowed those, but also I think players were slow to respond and read what was happening on the offensive side. I wish I knew a little bit more details so I could call up particular positions that cause certain hiccups, but I'm just going to blanket the whole defensive team for a lack of toughness, a lack of heart, a lack of effort, and put the coaches in there too, because at the end of the day, they should encourage toughness. They should be the ones that not just demonstrate it, but also instill that within their players. So of course they take the blame on there too, but I'm not going to let the players off the hook. They showed no effort out there. I was disappointed, but I was also enjoying it. It was one of those ones where you get beat down. It's like, oh, this is boring, but I was enjoying the beat down. I was like, man, how far can they take it? History be made today.
I definitely agree. I think another thing that stood out to me was, Russ was under a lot of pressure. He got sacked once, and I think they also forced 3 turnovers, but he was under pressure at least 20 times. So, and to that point, going back to coaching again, how they got to 70 with Russ still in the game? At what point do you say, yo, we're not winning, we're not taking this home, this is the star quarterback, pull him out? Like, what's the message in keeping him out there? We saw Derek Carr getting under pressure and getting hit a bunch of times, and he's injured. So I don't know what the message is there.
Yeah, I don't know the message is either. I guess at that point it was just like, well, whatever, man. We'll watch the tapes on Monday and figure this out, because it really just really seemed like this team, and at a macro level, the whole organization is apathetic. Like, they just don't really have the heart that's necessary to really take pride in, like, going out there and trying to give you the best. I know they just got rid of John Elway. He's no longer whatever he was under the organization, and a lot of times, a lot of under his tenure, they didn't do great. He had one good hit, which was Peyton Manning, and they already had a good defense. They won a Super Bowl. After that, how many quarterbacks? They went through like 6-7 quarterbacks, like, yeah, ever since then. And I mean, Russell Wilson, again, he's another big time signee into the Broncos organization, and it has not bared any fruit. And I can't even tell you why. Like, I mean, I don't think Russell Wilson is a bad quarterback, but it's just, look, if for you to give up 70 points in a game, like, a lot of things have to go right in the wrong direction. Defense has to be apathetic, not taking the pride into doing that. I'm sure a lot of them are upset because they're just players. They're just trying to work or whatever. But it's also the job of the staff, the coaching staff, to get you prepared for the game. You knew you was going against Tyreek Hill. Why is Tyreek Hill getting over top, like, easily? Like, all the other 28 teams, no. Like, what is the
They didn't get the scouting report. They didn't get the scouting report. That's what happened.
What are we doing here? And
whoever was helping Oregon beat Coach Prime, they need to help Broncos. That's
bro. So I mean, look, the Miami Dolphins just came out the gate hot, really hot. They are a high power offense. They are scoring, which seems to look like at ease. But again, I would point out a couple of things. One, Tyreek Hill only had one touchdown. He had 150 yards, which is probably average for him for this season so far. Jalen Waddle was out. He didn't play. Raheem Mostert only rushed for 80 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. He had 2 touchdowns. Mike White came in because they were so far ahead and scored a passing touchdown. Not I'm talking about Tua at this point. We just throw in insert random backup here. You get a touchdown. Devon Achani, who is a rookie. I don't think anyone ever heard of this guy. I don't think he even got any kind of play, snaps, or anything in the first 2 weeks. He ran off for 200 yards. How?
Yep. He was beasting them. He was slipping tackles like it was a joke. He was one of the ones that made him miss and make him look real like y'all ain't got nothing to offer right now.
Exactly. So to me, this is how I summarize it. Broncos just did not care. They didn't care enough. They didn't care enough that they were going into Miami to play them. Oh, I'm sorry. They were playing in they were playing in Miami. They didn't go into Miami with the game plan mentality. Hey, this team they're putting up points. We gotta stop them as a defense. Offense, I mean, yeah, Cortland Sutton, he dropped 2 fumbles. I mean, surprisingly, Russ only got sacked 1 time. I would have thought he would have got sacked more than that.
Yeah,
a lot of pressure though.
It was late too.
A lot of pressure.
I mean, it is a lot of pressure, and this one thing I would say is contention. I don't believe it's Russell's fault. He put up 306 yards passing. He only had 1 interception. He had 1 touchdown. Cortland Sutton is fumbling twice. Like, really critical, crucial catches. So,
Chris,
yes.
The Dolphins scored 70 points. How many times did the Broncos have the ball? You can get to 300 plus yards in the air if you have the ball 100 times in the game. I mean, I don't know what the possession was, but if you look at it, probably like an NBA game.
Well, I don't know that. I can look it up for you real quick. Time of possession is about even. 26 minutes to 33 minutes.
Yeah.
How many times they had the ball though? Not time. Like how many?
I don't know how
Many
many.
times,
I don't know
yeah.
how many
Time
times.
possession will matter,
Yeah.
though. I think
But yeah, I think time of possession is the appropriate metric. It don't
Now,
matter
time
how
of
many
possession
times.
it doesn't measure your progress appropriately though. You could have had the
I mean,
ball.
No, I
Go
think
ahead.
it does.
Okay,
Like
let's-
whether you're
let's-
getting it, whether you're getting it on a kick return or a punt return, what is the difference? Like, this is all time possession.
Well, to the point, Chris said it about the same. One team scored 70 points, one team only scored 20.
I mean,
was
70
efficient.
is not normal. Like, a lot of other teams in the NFL did not score 70 points this week either, Kurt.
Right, but what I'm saying is it's not the appropriate metric for what I'm trying to get at, right? So time
Okay.
of possession, you can have a highly efficient offense and score.
Uh-huh.
The other offense could drive but stall out. So I'm trying to measure efficiency. So I want to know how many times they had the ball.
well, they had 59 plays total. Miami did against Broncos. Broncos had 59 plays. Miami has 71 over that time of possession that we're talking about.
Man, so there you go with the time of possession, and that lets you know the Broncos stalled out a lot.
More plays
I
and
mean, it's
more
obvious in the
and-
scores too.
Yeah, and also
Yeah.
more plays and more successful plays at that.
So also interesting thing to note, because you're blaming Russ, right? You're trying to get the arrow to point to Russ. Passing
Go
first
ahead.
downs. Passing first
Okay.
downs.
Yeah.
They Broncos had 13 to Miami's 16. So passing first downs, not rushing first downs. So I mean, of the 16 total first downs they had, Russ passed 13 of those. The other ones
that's
were
good.
rushing and it didn't work. The third down efficiencies, they were in third down 12 times, 3 out of 12, and obviously then that's not a good percentage. But I mean, again, to me it seems more so that I would say, okay, that seems more on par with what an average day looks like on the offense.
Yeah.
On the other side, the defense, 5 of 9 third down efficiencies, 16 passing first downs, 12 rushing first downs. It sounded like the defense was asleep. So I wouldn't really put this on Russ. I mean, I think Russ is going to get a lot of flack because he's the face of the team right now. Even though he doesn't have the number one receiver, he still has. He's still waiting for Jerry Jeudy to come back. Cortland Sutton is okay for now, but maybe not so much.
Judy was out there.
Oh, he played this? He played?
5
I
receptions,
remember seeing him.
81 yards.
Oh, he is back. I thought he was coming back later.
Yeah.
You're right. He did.
And to the 21 points, like 21 points would have beat a lot of teams this week. 21 points is like
I mean, it would beat the Jets. It would beat the Patriots.
It would have beat the Baltimore Ravens.
yeah.
One of those touchdowns was a kick return, though. That had nothing to do with Russ or the offense. That was
Again,
special teams.
Dang.
Special teams, which is coaching. Bro, you got one play a series. Get it down, bro. So, but yeah.
When you think about, like, we can make it a little bit more personal, man. You think about, like, professionally, like the biggest L that you've taken in your professional career, man. It takes a minute to bounce back. Like, even like day trading, I've taken some L's day trading. I couldn't trade the next day because my mental wasn't right. I want a revenge trade. I'm out of my sorts. I'm off my square, right? These boys, man, these men took a beat down on the national stage, and everybody is gonna make jokes at them. I don't know how you bounce back. They're gonna bounce back. It's a difficult road.
I ain't making jokes because I was thinking about what Chris said earlier about being apathetic. When they interviewed that man, and he was just like, all I've done is lost since 2017. All I've done is lost. I've been here,
Bro.
and he was so frustrated, bro. Like, I don't think
who
it's
was that?
apathetic. One of the offensive linemen, Garrett Bowles.
Oh, on the Broncos?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Who else?
I couldn't even laugh. Like, I'm not laughing at this, man.
All he's done is
Like,
lost.
I'm like Kev. Like, I was watching the game. Like, oh wow, this is great. It's entertaining, but it's sad, bro.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough L to
Damn.
take. And if
Yeah.
you've been doing it for seasons, and
Yeah.
nah, bro, don't talk to
Like
me.
it becomes muscle memory, right? Like now you got to break yourself out of that. God,
Yeah. So
that's a toll
just-
on you, man.
I think they just need a win, bro. I think Russ need a win because
He does.
he's taking the brunt of Like even when it's not his fault, he's taking the brunt of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. So good luck, man, to the Broncos, man. Look, it can only go up from here. It can't get no worse.
70. It can be 71. It can go up there.
In the last drive, like they had a big run close to the goal, and then they could have kicked a field goal and got 73. But I didn't remember what happened in the tail end, because at that point I stopped paying attention a little bit. Y'all know?
So he didn't want to do it. The Miami coach didn't want to do it because he said he talked about one comment, karma, and how it comes back around. Another comment, he wants to like respect the team, respect the game. I call BS, man. 70-20, there's no respect. The respect is gone. And it wasn't his fault. He put the reserves in, I think, the fourth quarter, right? Maybe the end of the third, somewhere around there. He put the reserves in. So I'm not blaming him, don't get me wrong. But at that juncture, man, go for the record. Go for the record.
Go for the record.
Yeah.
We've seen that in the NBA too, where, hey, this person is close to it. Even the team will work towards helping them get whatever the record may be. You know what I mean? Just get the record.
Because no matter what happens this season, they can always say, we got that record.
You feel like they let LeBron get a couple points in that last game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Of course.
Oh,
you know,
man.
They was passing the ball like crazy. They just wanted to get that record in that game.
The defense was like, here, Bron.
It was like, you losing, and y'all all here celebrating a record.
I'm with AD.
Yeah, man, I'm the same.
He was upset.
So,
but it's a lifetime achievement type stuff, though. So at the same time, similarly, how often you're gonna get to 70 points again and be like this close from the record? That ain't gonna happen.
Nah, man.
Like that. Take it.
Yeah, no, okay. I would have let it fly. It's not even that big of a deal. It's a record, so what? It's gonna get broken again by someone eventually. And,
it's gonna take a while.
Chris, when was the last one?
1966.
All right then.
So okay, so just like it happened, 40, 50 years later, 60 years later, it can happen again. 40 to 60 years later.
It's gonna be a robot. It's gonna be a robot doing it.
Okay. So
hey, to Chris's point, it can only go up. Guess who they play next week? The
Chicago
Bears.
There you go.
Hey,
there you go. Look,
one of these teams will come out feeling better about themselves.
A sliver of hope. This is where you start building. Brick
if it ends in a draw, I'm gonna.
Oh man! Don't do that, Kurt. Why you even put that in the universe?
Cause he not a Miami Dolphins fan.
I'm gonna bet on this game. It's gonna end at the tie. I'm putting money on it now. Vegas, work with your boy.
he's never been with a team that had to struggle. So he only picked teams when they're at the top. So that's probably the reason why. But anyways, we can move on, man, to some of the random topics that we have, man. We gotta find a good tagline for this. But Reg, I know you got something in the bank, man, that you want to.
So I like the energy that was put out last week. So I'm gonna go with the classic "One Gotta Go," and it's just gonna be two. It's between two shows, and I feel like I'm gonna be on the wrong side of this argument, but that's okay.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Martin.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Halfway there though. Martin or Living Single. One Gotta Go.
Oh. Living Single.
Dang. What?
I mean, I know more Martin than I do Living Single, so I'm gonna have to agree with that. Just because of my familiarity with Martin episodes, and I was deep in there.
I'm surprised, so I'm gonna let y'all cook. I'm surprised we split today. I'm gonna go with Living Single too. I'll let you, since you jumped out the gate. Chris, go ahead and explain why you keep it Martin.
There's no wrong answers here.
It is not. It's all culture. It's all culture. You still come to the cookout.
The thing about Living Single was, I think part of it was the time that it came on. So like I remember seeing Martin come on first, and then after that Living Single came on after Martin when they both.
So my time is about the time of day.
Time of day and the time slot. Yeah, the time slot.
Mm-hmm.
And so because Martin, it's kind of like if Hannibal Buress, and I'm not saying that that's the quality, but I'm just thinking I'm talking about from the step down. It's like listening to Dave Chappelle talk do a comedy set for 2 hours, and then after that you had to hear Hannibal Buress, and he has to follow up because Martin was so funny. Like it was is that it was on that fringe of just like that would never happen in real life. Like the boxing match with Hitman Hearns, he came out with a big head. Like we know that's never happened, but like it's so funny. And then Living Single is a different kind of comedy. It was more of a traditional sitcom, and I'm like, man, I'm good. Like I mean, it just wasn't. I think because it was the follow up behind Martin, it just wasn't as it didn't resonate with me as much. But I will say that Living Single had some really complex characters. Obviously, you know, probably one of the few shows that actually had like a business woman who was like from okay with their career. Actually, there's two business women okay with their career. They didn't really need a man to kind of like, oh, you know, like to kind of play in that stereotype of role, and be totally okay and comfortable within their skin, just, you know, being single, living single, right? Mm-hmm. So I do, and then you had the quirky people, you had like the bougie lady, like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So Regine. So I think it was just a different kind of comedy, and I think at the end of the day, like, you know, from start to finish, like I can remember, like there's so many episodes of Martin that were just memorable. Living Single, I don't think there was like any like one particular scene that was just such a standout, you know. So I would have to pick Living Single to go, but not because it sucked. It's just because it was a, you know.
Oh no, definitely.
Who wants to go next?
I was just gonna say he said it for me already at the tail end right there. The tail end of what you said is pretty much it for me. I just have much more memorable scenes of Martin. The one that you talked about with his face all messed up, they were showing that last night on Hit or Miss, ESPN Hit or Miss, and they were talking about Tommy Hearns, and they showed that clip, and I'm like, man, flashbacks. I remember that episode to the T, and I was like, it's crazy how I haven't seen that in such a long time, and it came back to me. I'm pretty sure if I watched Living Single, it would still be like similar, where, oh yeah, I remember this, I remember that. But with Martin, is like, I could come off the top and remember a lot of the characters that he played. He doubled as, tripled as, quadrupled as well as just the different episodes and what they were about. So that's for me the main reasons. It had nothing to do with the quality of either show. It's just what's more memorable for me.
Dope. You want to hop in, Kerr? Or you want me to go first?
I go, man. I want to go with Living Single as the one I'm gonna keep, right? Now, as Chris and Kev were talking about it, I'm trying to think about good points. Granted, both are good shows. But bruh, back in the day, man, kids in school were recycling Martin jokes the next day. You know what I'm saying? And there were still bangers after you heard it on the show that night. And like, I'm thinking about the stuff between Martin and Gina, the interaction with Martin and Pam. Tommy, you don't got a job. You know, like, it's so many.
Big Shirley, Cole.
Yeah.
New Jack City scene.
Yeah.
Right. You know? So I what's up? You know, his catchphrase, man. I can't, man. I really thought about points for Living Single, which I love that show. I absolutely love the show. Maxine and Cal, their interactions on it, but bro, the next day you watch Martin at night, you go to school the next day, and people are recycling the jokes. So, Living Single, man, on the chopping block.
I went with Living Single, and I'm gonna stick with it, just because, like, if we're talking about like when we were younger, yeah, hands down, Martin, like easy. But I feel like it's a show that still caught my attention. It's one of those things, like, different world. Like, I'm a little bit younger compared to like my sister or some other people who were watching some of these shows. So like when I watched it, it was just like, okay, like some of this is kind of funny, but it's a little bit above my level of comedy or whatever the case. Understanding of the world and things are. So definitely at the time, for sure, I agree with you. Like every character on Martin was funny. You know, whether it was Stan, I'm not even talking about like the Martin side characters, but like Stan, the dude that was working with him, doing the soundboard or something, the white dude.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like everybody was funny on that show, but going back and watching Martin later on, it is kind of like it's good, and I can see why it was so hot in the '90s. But going back to like watching Romeo Must Die, it's it didn't age as well as you'll remember. Like when you go watch back, like it's still good. And I think it's the improv that created those scenes that you were talking about. Like that's what made it so monumental. But it wasn't the best show in the world. It was almost just like people doing improv on stage, and that's where the chemistry is, where the comedy, where what we like so much about the show. When it comes to Living Single, like what they were talking about, what was going on in their lives, it was like the precursor to Friends. Like you had a lawyer, you had an entrepreneur at a startup, you had two professionals. Was Kyle a lawyer as well, or he worked in business?
He was a lawyer.
He was in business in some. I think he was like acquisitions or something. Because I watched that. Yeah. It was something like that where he was in corporate as well. Just like, and then you had Overton, he lived with them too, but he was like
handyman.
He was a handyman, but you had this group of friends, and you had such a range. Like Sinclair, she always worked at the office with her cousin, Khadijah, but like it was such a dynamic of black representation, and black representation in a good light. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that show was kind of slept on because it wasn't as funny as Martin, but it was witty. It was ahead of the curve. It was ahead of its time, and I think that's why sometimes it gets underappreciated. But that's why, like, especially if you look at it with the age lens, I just feel like Living Single aged better than Martin.
I think Red's coming through with a philosophical take, man. I hear you doing. I think the shows that like struck the medium, like more moderation, they last. They're more of a ensemble cast. As far as Martin, shows that go over the top, they're good at the moment. But like, I think you could redo a Living Single. A Living Single, I think you can't tell me the creators of Sex and the City weren't influenced by Living Single. You know, you could remake that. Martin, they remade Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I watched a few episodes, like 3. Not enough to really say yay or nay on it. But can you remake Martin?
Nah, you can't. Yeah. It's just all chemistry. It's all chemistry. Even what they did with Fresh Prince, they just went a whole different take with it.
It was just true.
You can you do that with Martin? Is that a good show? I don't know. A super serious show about people in Detroit?
I don't know. When you put it that way, maybe. I don't know. But nah, it's not going to be like Martin.
And then, like we said, when I was saying earlier with Martin, it's all that chemistry. Like, Will, I don't know if people have the same chemistry, but it's still a good show what they're doing with the remake. Martin, you can't even bring those same people back and have comedy. Even if, God bless the dead, Tommy's gone, but like even if you brought them back, they're older. Martin kind of a little more relaxed. He ain't doing all that extra stuff anymore. I don't think it's hard. It's hard to recreate that.
Yep. I agree.
Dang, man. Yeah, that was a good one.
So, cool, man. Well, appreciate that, man. It was a nice little cultural talk, man. Look, we got a lot of that stuff in our back pockets for the 90s and 2000s that, get slept on. Homeboys out of space. Homeboys out of space. Oh, okay. All right, okay.
Flat out.
So, we got a couple of misses too, but we do have some gems, man. So yeah, man, that was cool, man. We'll talk about probably some more cultural stuff in the future. So appreciate that, Reg. So Deuce, man, what you got for your quiz?
All right, man. So let's keep it pretty varied, man. I know a lot of times we don't talk about it. We intend to talk about the WNBA, to give them a little bit more shine, at least on our platform, right? We talked about the issues they had. They had some good games too. So here's my question to you guys, man. Can you list? I want to see your general knowledge of the game. Can you give me at least 3 WNBA MVPs?
Breonna Stewart.
Yep, Breonna Stewart.
The girl on the park, Candace Parker. Who's the girl on the Aces? Asia Wilson.
Asia Wilson.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yo, a fun fact: Asia Wilson and Breonna Stewart won it twice. So yeah.
They remind me of like Magic. To be honest, they kind of remind me of Magic and Bird right now.
Okay. All right. Which one got
some
the
of the game needs?
Yo, I ain't touching that one.
I was just asking. You said it.
In the comment section, one gotta go.
Cancel.
So,
man.
Cool. Hey man, that was a cool. I like that one, man. You know, we should give more love to the WNBA, women's sports in general. So
Yeah,
I'm always down for that. So
They do get some love in some other categories, tennis. You know,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Track,
Hey,
track,
on point.
gymnastics, swimming.
swimming, even volleyball.
So.
To be honest,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know any male volleyball players. Let's get out of here.
soccer.
I
I
don't
don't even
care,
watch male volleyball.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not even a category. I don't know.
I remember there was like the two women. I forget the name of the U.S. team for like beach volleyball.
Misty May and Kerry Walsh.
Yeah, yeah, beast. I can't name
Classic.
you two male volleyball players. Can't.
Ken A and Ken B. So, but cool, man. Yeah. We'll definitely keep trying to push that, man, and appreciate that trivia / quiz. So yeah, that's it for us for the day, man. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up real quick. Let us know what you think about the topics that we talked about so far, and I'll just let everyone else sign off first, and then I can close it up, man. Reg, not Reg. I'll start with Kev. Kev, what you got to say?
All right.
WNBA playoffs going on right now. Y'all have a favorite?
Yeah. I'll be honest.
Aces, because they always good.
Nah.
Yeah, man, they vicious, bro.
I would say Aces and who is it? Who got Breonna Stewart? The Liberty this year.
Liberty.
But they're not. I don't think they were doing too well.
Mm-mm.
So
It's New York, bro.
she's
And they
a
don't.
black
New York don't ever.
no, they started off good, but
Yeah.
or they had an up and down season, but Breonna Stewart was a bright spot there. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Aces seem stacked. Candace Parker's on the Aces now too, so she got traded there, or I don't know, she signed there after playing what you call it last season in the what was it, Chicago Sky. She was on Chicago
yeah.
Sky. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
She racking up, man.
yeah, so they kind of stacked on the Aces.
Yeah, they are. They are. So,
All right, man.
anything else you
Sorry
want to say,
about that.
Kev? No, it's all good.
Sidetrack. Appreciate y'all rocking with us. We know your time is valuable as usual, so we appreciate when you spend it with us. Go ahead and check out the episode today and the ones that we have prior. If you're interested to see the content that we put out, like, comment, subscribe, and like Chris will say, tell a friend, spread the word.
Cool. Reg, what you got, man?
Same thing, man. Like, follow, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let us know what you think. We'll keep you more trivia, more random topics, and more what's going on in the football world right now.
Awesome. Deuce, what you got?
Hey, man, I heard there's a GoFundMe out there to help the Broncos find their soul. So, to the viewers, if you can like send me that link, man, I'll donate $1.
Wow.
Generous.
You don't want to donate an Alabama player?
Ow.
Oh,
No.
Okay. I was just
Nah.
asking.
Nah.
Cool. All right. Well, appreciate that. Appreciate your solicitation for GoFundMe. I'm sure the Denver Broncos could use it at this point in time. So, but back to us, man. Thanks for everyone who was tuned in. Like, follow, subscribe, tell a friend. Give 5 stars on the audio side if you see and listen to us on there. And just one more thing, man. Congratulations to the Cowboys. You guys come back down to earth. You guys thought you was riding high, and y'all was out here like, we're gonna win the Super Bowl. Congrats. You kids came back down to earth, and now we can reset. Now we can go back to the rest of football. We don't have to worry about listening to Cowboy fans talking about they going to the Super Bowl after you lost to the Arizona Cardinals without Kyle.
Hey, it's a little early because y'all see them in 2 weeks, Chris. You just say you might want to say that. Okay,
we sure. And guess what? And they ain't got Trayvon Diggs, so
okay, all right. Well,
I definitely ain't worried about y'all now.
Okay.
So, anyways, so yeah, we'll the 49ers will see them, and then we'll see past them, and then move on to the week 6. So, we'll be here, and until next week, guys, man, we'll leave y'all with the deuces, man. So, peace out.
peace.